Do you ever find yourself just completely overwhelmed at the idea of a blank page? Or maybe you're just moving slowly and it feels like every sentence is taking 20 minutes, like you're never going to get through this paper. Today, I want to show you how I get my first draft on paper without all the agony, and that's using speech to text in Google Docs. Let's get started. I recently read a piece someone wrote about the practice of free writing, where you just sit and write and write and write and write and write. And there's even an app that forces you to write and write and write. And if you stop writing for more than a few seconds, it deletes everything you've written. Now, I'm not talking about that sort of pressure, but I do think that there's something about doing a sloppy, messy first draft that really gets the juices going and can really break through that writer's block or procrastination or the fear of that blank page. Today, we're going to put all of that perfectionism aside and we're going to use voice typing in Google Docs so that we can get a sloppy, rough, messy first draft down on the page. Okay? Let's go to the doc. So here I am with my blank doc. Now, normally this would be pretty scary, but we're going to get past that with voice typing. We go up to Tools and down to Voice Typing. And that pops up this little microphone on the left-hand side. Now, this may look different in different browsers. I'm using Chrome with Google Docs on a Mac. So this microphone lets you speak your paper. Let's give it a try. It'll ask you if you want to allow it. I'm going to say allow. You have to give it a little access. And now it's started transcribing what I'm saying. Now, I can use punctuation because if I don't, it's just going to be a run on sentence, which is fine. If you're using this for a rough draft, maybe you just want to speak out your words and then edit it later. I definitely don't recommend doing a lot of fine editing at this point. This is the point where you're just going to get those words down on the page. But let's play around with a little punctuation, period. When I said period, it added a period. Period. I can also add an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I can also add a comma. Comma. I'm going to turn off recording for a second. I do that by going up to the microphone and clicking it again. So now it's no longer transcribing, but you have options to navigate through the doc and you can move your cursor to fix things. Even if you have the microphone on, you can switch to different sections of the page and insert. So if I, for instance, I went up to this line where it says, and then edit later, I manually, with my hands, move this paragraph down, and then I want to stick something in there. I can start the microphone again, and it will transcribe while I'm speaking, period. And then I pause the microphone. You can also go to Google's help pages and find a long list of voice commands. There's so much you can do using voice typing, but I do want to caution you that if you're working on a first draft, it's best to focus on your thoughts and getting those out. Once I've got a rough outline for my paper, I like to use this and go section by section and just sort of note my own thoughts about something, kind of talk it out like I was talking to a friend. And a lot of times I find that if I talk it out section by section, I'll actually get almost an entire paper written. If I look at the word count, I'm almost there. And so then my job is super easy because all I have to do is go in and clean up the words and finesse it and make it look pretty. Get something down on paper because it's so much easier to edit something when you have something to edit than when you have a blank page that you're staring at. If you have any questions or suggestions for using voice typing in Google Docs, or maybe you do this a totally different way, please share it in the comments. And up next, you might want to watch this video about how I record on the go using a voice recorder and an AI transcription tool. Otherwise, I will see you again next time, midlife learners.